Oh, this has got to be hilarious that it's like taking me this long to figure out that you guys have been watching me the whole time, especially if you watch this from the get-go, right? Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Olga S. Pérez Show. How about that? It's where I come to talk, to mess around. This is my more relaxed channel. Because if you don't know me by now, I'm a life strategist, among other things. And I spend my days pretty much giving people advice, coaching them, training them, get them to achieve whatever they want, even if it's just to feel better, clear their mind, or to change their career, or up their level and their status in life, whatever it is that they're doing. Yes, I love it. I love helping people. Because I'm all about one of those, the way it all started, huge background about me. One of the things I used to do, I was a teacher. No surprise, right? But believe me, I've done so much. But we're going to have to get to the details the day that I publish my book, just on that. Because it would take us forever. It's like, where did you live again? What? Where did you grow up? It's just too confusing, guys. So bear with me. I've been all over, in a nutshell, all over the world. Done so many things, a lot of things, different careers, you name it. So many different lives. It's crazy. I mean, I've changed the color of my hair like so many times. We're talking like red, blonde, black, crazy. I like diversity. I like change. I want it to be refreshed. Now things are different. Now, as the years have gone by and many, many moons, it's all about wisdom. Because once I suffered one time, two times, and I got tired of suffering and then when the suffering just got so unbearable, I'm like, look, there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way to be able to live without feeling pain all the time. Mental pain, physical pain. I had all the above issues. And I'm here to tell you, there is a way. There is a way. They don't teach us, they don't teach us in school how to do that. But anyway, that was a little bit, I guess, background for those of you who are new. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. If you like what I'm doing, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell so we don't miss each other, because I'm going to be going live purposefully so that we can talk live. I want to chat with you guys. So let's talk about, okay, so all right. Yesterday I was on live. We talked about Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, clearly because it's a big thing. Today's supposed to be the last day, and I don't want to really get into it. My whole thing is, let's look at the other side of like, why is everybody focusing on that so badly? You know what that tells you about your life, right? Yeah, because I don't have time. And even if I have time, like, I got so much going on. I can't possibly like watch that and think that's a movie of like 8 hours a day. It's like reminds me of, back in the day when they would say, oh, you're going to stay at home, raise kids, eat bonbons and, watch soap operas and stuff. That's the old school stuff. As you could see, I'm on the older scale and I'm proud of it, baby. I never thought I would make it till 30 and I'm still here. So for those out there who think like they're they might not last long or, I feel you. That's actually normal. That's a very normal. Anyway, and for those of you that are maybe my age or older and you're feeling like, oh, Mo, it's old, you're not. Especially nowadays when people, not just nowadays, right? For the last 40 years or whatever, the average lifespan now, the expectancy could have been 80 years old. And 40 is midlife. What's up? Back in the day, people used to die at 40 all the time. Yeah. Maybe you already knew that, right? They taught you that in school. I hope. Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious because honestly, whenever I talk to my interns, and they're usually, not all of them, but some are, under 30, so I work with all ages, Gen X, even some boomers, millennials, and of course, Gen Z. And I'm pretty shocked on how much they don't know. And it doesn't matter where they come from, the country. I'm like, what's going on? I actually do have the answer for that one, by the way. But then that I would also be here for days and days and days. But anyway, so I'm hoping that somebody will jump on and say something. If you're definitely watching this live, please, even if you just say, hey, in the chat, let me know. And if you have any questions or how do you think? How do you feel? I just feel like everyone has a lot of mental health issues. And a lot of people, take medication more often than not. There's just other alternatives that we need to explore. I mean, it's not helping people. It's not helping people to, let me get a little adjusted here. What does it mean if I say WEF to you? What does it mean? Do you know what that stands for? World Economic Forum. Doesn't that sound nice? It's not. It's not. World Economic Forum. First of all, world, so this is a group that is in charge of the world. Says who? Did you elect them? I didn't. They're not elected people. But they all elected themselves and put themselves in this power. And they call this, that's almost like it's a great conference, right? Convention of sorts. WEF. Do not be fooled. If you don't know, go and do a deep dive. Where it originated, how long they've been around, who runs it, who's part of the directors and the boards and all that stuff, right? Where they get the money, who pays into it. These people are making the decision for the entire world. And now they just partnered up this weekend. They were just in Davos, Switzerland. And they partner up and they make the decisions. Excuse me. They haven't done a good job to this point, as we can see. Markets are always crashing up and down, inflation. They manipulate numbers. They manipulate stock market. They manipulate real estate. They manipulate everything. And they act like they are the economic experts. Guys, how can they be the economic expert if they were the economic expert, the World Economic Forum, the experts of economies, money, wealth, food, resources, right? If they're the experts, they're a global organization, we'd all be perfect. Nobody would be hungry. Gas prices would not go off the roof. In fact, if they were real experts with the kind of technology we have today, don't you think we wouldn't even have to pay for resources like that? Like gas, electric would be free. I know I sound crazy, right? But the point is, you notice how the people that have all the power. So it's not about the rich people and the rich people are bad. It's the people that have that power that we don't do anything about it or that we respond to them. And again, I want to make this very clear. I'm going to say it throughout for the people that are new and the people that have come back. This is not about politics. I am not about politics. I'm about truth. Okay. Let's just talk about the truth. I am tired of the left and the right and the bias and the bullshit. And let's be honest. For example, just to make my point, I love it when I would go to a party. This is years ago. This is when I started to realize the delusion that we've all been living, and then the lies that the governments and the globalists, these leaders, these so-called leaders. Again, they're not my leader, but they are definitely affecting my life, right, and yours. But okay, who are these people? If they were so great, we wouldn't have any problems, right? And so now they're going to say, we're going to do a great reset. Who are you? And did you ask me? They're not even asking us what we think. Did you get that? But no, let's watch Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, which, by the way, I'm not going to discard that. I'm just waiting for the hearings to be over, the trial to be over, because then we're going to go full throttle into the aspects about the case that really are being squashed and squandered for everyone's political, cultural war bias bullshit. You get me? So I'm going to get at the fact that after it's done and they made the verdict and all that, I'm going to show you and highlight to you. And I want you to join me. And I definitely want you to join me live on the chats. Either way, always come back in the comments. I do read them. Your comments are my fuel and I do read them and I will respond. Well, what I want to talk about is how the mainstream media, which is not really mainstream anymore, corporate / legacy media, and the fact that they're twisted, they're all getting paid. So you can't listen to anybody. They're all getting paid. They're all full of shit. All they care about is their paycheck, period. I don't care who you like. That's the truth behind them. Okay, because the truth will set you free, right? So this is why I'm so adamant about the truth, because in a world of delusions, we need truth now more than ever. You with me? You feel me? And even if you don't like the truth, and even if the truth hurts, trust me, I'm going to help you get through it. It's called growing pains, and we always come out better because of it. Hello, the whole hero's journey. But anyway, going back to that, to the Depp Heard thing, let's talk about how our society, like not so much how much the media has abused this, and they're pathetic and they're just sucking it dry, and it's disgusting, despicable, not honorable, but men and women, and how this person is, Depp has had to, and still as we're speaking, going through having to defend his persona, his career, his livelihood, hence defamation lawsuit. There's a lot to be learned. And what I'm hoping that will come out of this, and what I'm going to be highlighting after it's all done, is, have we really accomplished the major lesson that anybody's a victim, no matter the sex, age, gender, or money? Get that? And I'm going to pull out, we're going to get into it. I'm going to pull out like statistics, or who's the age group, what's the demographic, especially like specifically the US. Okay. And then we're going to go down, why is it the exact demographics of the people that are most abused, the ages, etc. Okay. So we're going to come back to that because I want to make sure that doesn't get lost in all the gossip. You with me? Even if gossip is fun, I mean, we're human. We do like gossip, but see, you can do it for 5 minutes or few, to have a little fun. But ultimately, you gotta face the truth. Because that's the other reason why I think everyone's losing their sense of humor here. You're right, you're wrong. Who cares? It's I'm going right back to what I said earlier about the delusion of everything. So when I first came to the US, I had been growing up in Europe, predominantly in Spain. And I get to this, I'm at a party, and somebody says, oh, I own this house. I bought this house. I was like, oh, you bought a house? I bought a house too. And I'm thinking, but when I realized that no one really bought a house, they had mortgages, meaning they had debt. But they would say, I own this house. I'm like, but you don't own the house. And if you don't pay it, you get it taken away. And then even if you do pay it off, if you don't pay taxes in this country anyway, you can lose it too. So you own what? So it's like the only way you can continue to do something is to lie about it. But then when shit hits the fan, or you lose a job and it's only a couple paychecks away, that you can't sustain that house. My point is, all these little things that we say, I own this when I don't, it creates the entire ecosystem that we're living in. And then now you add modern technology, avatars, people having filters for their social media, and you don't even know what they look like. A 13-year-old can look like she's 25. Like, what? Like, it's fun for a second, but the problem is there's more and more disconnection. The more we have to connect, the more of a disconnection, which is another thing I'm having a lot of people coming with. They're just so wrapped up that, like, people need to understand the power of words and the mind. And even if you think you don't believe it, it'll seep in. That's what hypnosis is all about. Don't you know anything about hypnosis? Interesting. We're also, that'll be for another live stream, just on hypnosis alone. Now, this is mass hypnosis. So, if we start looking at reality, we can really change our environment and help bring us together and have less hardship and less violence. But we have to start with the truth, guys. So WEF, World Economic Forum, these people that are going to decide our life. Matter of fact, if you guys haven't watched it, I'll have the clips. I'm going to screen share tomorrow. I'm going to have them all set up for the next live stream. But please come prepared. I can't wait. I want to hear what you have to say. I'm dying to hear now. Well, I guess I'm dying, right? Because we're all dying initially, right? Since the moment you're born, you're dying. But yeah, I had just spoken in another podcast about the whole Texas tragedy. And if you're paying attention, if you're listening to me right now, do me a favor. Can you make sure that you find out that don't just listen to one newscaster or one channel, and go to more independent journalists, because every hour or two, I'm finding out more information about the story. And I wanted to start talking about it yesterday. But first and foremost, my heart goes out to all those families. And I pray and I send them love, and I hope you do too. Because thoughts do travel, honey. Thoughts don't just stay in your head, they're energy. So whether you believe in prayer or not, God or not, your thoughts matter. Send that positive energy out. Instead of bashing each other, let's support each other. Unity makes power. It's real easy to pick on somebody. How about giving them a hug and giving them support? People have lost it. They have lost any sense of morality, I'm telling you. Did you guys hear about that guy, Bone? What's his name? Oh, I was going to write it down, but and I thought, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to get into politics. Remember that guy who interrupted a meeting with the governor of Texas? Oh my God, I could see his name in my head. Anyway, I'm going to call it quits for today, for this episode, a live stream. And stay positive, stay strong. Until next time, much love.